And just in case you're sitting there worried since the last show that I've put on an extra £500 due to eating all those lovely marshmallows that my sister sent me, you know, those chocolate tea cakes. That's what they're called, milk chocolate marshmallows, tea cakes covered in chocolate. Oh, God. Well, I'm pleased to say, since the last show, I've only had 6 of them. That's not bad. Did you miss the last show? Well, you won't know what I'm talking about. I told you before, you need to watch all the shows, otherwise you lose the thread. This is like, I suppose, a bit of a soap opera, really, isn't it? Eh? It is a bit like a soap opera. We'll have people popping in and popping out. Eh? People like Joy. Who was it? Someone wrote in this week and said they wanted to hear Joy on the phone again soon. So that will happen probably... oh dear, probably in the next couple of shows, all right? We will have Joy on the phone. Anyway, 6 marshmallows, that's all I've had so far. There are 10 in a box, and my sister sent me 2 boxes of chocolate marshmallows for my birthday. So only 6. I might have another couple when I finish the show today. I might treat myself. I might just treat myself, all right? Just so you know, I haven't been a fat pig this weekend. The school disco, which we did, a great success. Very, very pleased. That was at Belushi's in Hammersmith last Saturday. School disco, everyone comes in their uniform. There was a very, very good turnout. A lot of boys and girls in school uniforms, men. The best one, I think, has to be Tracy, who's actually around about the same age as me. I think she's between 40 and 45. And she just looked out of this world. So much effort. So if you were at the Belushi's school disco last Saturday here in Hammersmith, or down there in Hammersmith in London, well done. Really good. And I had my uniform on. I was going to wear my little outfit for the show today, but I'm not sure that it would fit in with the grand scheme of things, you know, sort of wearing a school blazer and that. People would think I was still at school. I know I do look young, but we don't want to make people think that I am still at school, because that might put off potential employers, mightn't it? The one thing I forgot to wear, I can't believe it, is this little badge I bought, a little yellow badge. I'm kind of trying to show it to the camera, but that's not working. Oh, yes, there we go. And it says head boy on it. It's a yellow badge, and I forgot to wear it. Perhaps I should wear it for the show today. What you think? Shall I put that on? My head boy badge. Yes, there we are. Oh, it's only a bit of a giggle, isn't it? I can't get it on now because I've got my thick blue denim shirt on today, which actually Joy in Acton, she likes. This is her favourite of my small. I can't get this badge on. Just a minute. Where were we? It's a bit like putting a Blue Peter badge on, isn't it? There we are. One minute. Oh dear. Well, hang on. There we are. I've got my head. Oh, you can't even see it. There we are. Have I put it in the way? There we are. My head boy badge I've got on now, and my blue denim shirt, especially today for Joy, who Joy has now become a viewer, because Joy used to listen to the show via the satellite station that used to carry it. Sadly now that one's closed down. So what I do is I put on a DVD, a little DVD. 1 minute. Oh. Got blank DVDs here. So what I do is I put 2 shows on a DVD and I send them to her in the post. And she sits there and watches them, don't you, Joy? Joy is with us at this moment, viewing me. Aren't you, Joy? And that kind of got me thinking, there must be other people out there, I would guess, who listen to the show and can't watch it for whatever reason. They haven't got internet because of the little stations that carry it. There's plenty of people that haven't got internet. If you would like to send me, if you would like me to send you a couple of the shows on DVD, just so that you can see what it looks like in here, then just email in and ask for that. Okay, could you send me a couple of the shows? No charge. You know me, I'm a useless business person. I am. I'm useless, dear. Scrimping and saving in people's bins, looking for something to eat. That's me. If you like a show or 2 on DVD, I can't do it regular, you know, don't start saying, oh, can you send me every show on DVD? I don't mind sending you 1 DVD with a couple of shows on it. If you'd like that, and for some reason you can't watch on the internet, if you email into the show, Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I will happily put a couple of shows on DVD and put them in the post. Don't forget to use your address there, wherever you are in the world. All right, once again, if you like a couple of shows on a DVD as a one-off sort of thing, I'll be happy to do that. Just write in Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the email address, and I'll put a couple on DVD for you. Now, if you can't email in, if you have no internet at all, that's okay as well, because you can write into the programme. Oh, we've got it all here. We got telephones, we got postal, we got carrier pigeons, boys and girls. Carrier pigeons are constantly sending me messages, usually from James Dean's programme, matineeshow.co.uk, because he doesn't have much technology there. And quite frankly, I'm getting fed up with people who saw the show with myself and James Dean on YouTube last Thursday. So that's, what's that, is that a week ago now? Is that just over a week ago now? Oh, and it's made me feel quite ill, to be honest. People keep telling me how good looking he is. I'm sorry, lovey, I just can't see it. I don't know why. I just can't see it. Is there something wrong with your eyes? What is going on there? Not only that, but people seem to keep picking up on the fact there was a little white speck of dust on this microphone right in front of me. Now, obviously, if you're on the radio, you wouldn't have seen that. But you see, this is one of the things when you're into global television production like I am. This is one of the things that I haven't noticed. I didn't realise how important a small white speck of dust was to some people. And they've gone on and on about it, dear. On and on. Look, here's another one here. This is from Storm 2009. Hello, Storms. This is a YouTube person. Username, Storms, STORMZ 2009. No name. Look, please put your names on these. It says, "Hi, Chris. That white speck on your mic was driving me mad too. Just about to write and tell you to get rid of it. And others had noticed it too." Oh, I know that. You haven't got to tell me that. It goes on. The list is endless. Fizzasap's on there as well, telling me about my white speck. Well, it's gone now. Look, I've cleaned the microphone. It was such a tiny thing. How can such a tiny thing annoy so many people, eh? Dear me. And here's another one here. Oh. This is from Mad Tezza. Now, I know his name is Terry. Again, YouTube person, username Mad Tezza, MADTEZA. "Hi, Chris. Great show last week with James. Here we go. Look, how cute is James? Oh, bleh, oh God. Bleh. I don't get any messages like that. Oh, don't you look cute, Chris? Only from married women like Suko, that's it. Come on. Let's have some more messages telling me how cute I am, please. Because there hasn't been any. Not for at least 5 years now. It's all falling apart, isn't it? Actually, I was looking in the at the video I did outside on the last show, and that when you're outside in the light, why is it that I look so much older? What's going on there? It wasn't even a sunny day. God knows what I would have looked like if it was sunny. I mean, I probably would have ended up looking like 80-year-old Joy. I mean, I would have done. It's awful. I mean, I can see what's going to happen. I'll be out shopping one day in bright sunlight. 2 undertakers will probably drive past me and think that they've dropped a body. What's that about sunlight? It made me look terrible. Anyway, Tezza says, keep up the good work, Mr. Reardon. Thank you, Tezza. And I cannot agree there. I honestly don't see how James Dean is cute. Oh, and he's got another fan in Italy now. Young Jamie. Hello, Jamie. All right. In Milan. Ciao. Ciao. Hello, Chris. Hope you're doing okay. I heard about the meeting with your good old friend. That'd be Ron, yes. I hope you had a very nice time. You deserved it. Yes, I did. And it's nice to get back in contact with with someone that I'd formed such a strong relationship with for years, really. I have to say, you know, sometimes you make mistakes throughout your life and that sort of thing. And if you can come back and admit that you'd made a mistake, you were wrong, and sort things out. And I think I was wrong to cut him off, actually. But at that time, it seemed the right thing to do. This was the person, Jamie, that I went out with years and years ago and held the candle for 18 years. I spoke about him, must be a good 6 to 9 months ago now on one of the shows there. And something had happened, so I was able to kind of cut him off. But it never seems to go from your head. I don't know why. But now it's fine because a period of time has passed. Do you see? So although you kind of do pick up from where you left off, other feelings are now gone, sort of thing. It's difficult to explain, really. Jamie says, the programme with James Dean was great. I liked it very much. I've got to take a look again. I'm not at him, surely. I hate it. Why does everyone fancy him and not me? I can't understand that. As Suke did look uncomfortable, though, didn't he? In front of the camera. We love it. Talking about my mate Ron, can I just touch on a particular gadget now? I don't know how many of you have got one of these, or indeed if they're available in your particular country. High-definition televisions. Has anyone got a HD TV, a high-definition television? I ask the question because these things are being pushed big time now by all the shops and what have you. You know, the latest thing. So I suppose what they ideally like you to do is chuck away the perfectly good working television set that you've got. Chuck that away and buy another one. Well, as you know, I'm not one of those people. I do have, I suppose, a fairly old television now in the living room. It's about 12 years old. It's a Sony maybe not 12, about 10 years old. It's a Sony widescreen television I've got in the living room. It's not a flat screen. It's the big old cathode ray tube ones. And this is where I get the thing, you know, when we say something is old. Well, it's only 10 years old. And to me, that's not old. And I don't know. I mean, some people, they look down their noses if you don't keep up. And I just think it's such a waste of terrible, terrible money to chuck something away just because something new's come out. And in all honesty, I have tried to palm this telly off because I would like one of those flat screen ones. I really would like one of those. And something a bit bigger. Although the telly downstairs is big enough for me, I would like one of those big, you know, the big flat screen. I would like one of those. However, I won't buy one until I find something to do with this one. I certainly won't chuck it away. I don't really want to give it to someone I don't know. I would sell it, but I doubt that I'd get much money for it at all. Because, of course, it's a Sony, it will probably go on for years and years. Now, I did try, I think I told you, last week to palm it off onto my niece. Because they've got a big mortgage and a house. And I thought, oh, they like that. No, they didn't want it. Oh, no, we're waiting for a flat screen. We're saving for flat screen. So she didn't want it. And another couple of people I've asked, oh, what sort of telly? Oh, it's just a normal. Oh, no, don't want one. Oh, okay then. So I don't know what to do with it really. I suppose I could inquire at perhaps something like an old people's home or something like that, or I don't know. It's a nice telly. How did we get on the subject? Oh yes, that's right. Anyway, now of course they're pushing these high definition ones. Now the reason I say this, before you rush out and buy one, I want to share something with you. Ron, my mate Ron, where I stayed last Friday before I went to the hospital to have my eyes looked at, he has got a high-definition telly, and he's also got the Sky high-definition box. Now, you've got to be careful here, because if you buy a high-definition ready telly, you need the other bits to go onto it. You need the other box that gives you high definition. Okay? To buy the other box, is reasonably cheap. Now, the only one I know of at the moment is Sky. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just talking about the UK here, all right? I don't know if you can get high definition on Freeview yet. I haven't looked into that. But you can get it on Sky. Now, Ron, he has the high definition telly, and he also has the Sky high definition video box. All plugs together and works. He subscribes to the Sky package that includes the high definition channels. I believe that this is an extra £10 per month just for the high definition channels. Now, his telly is quite good anyway. It's reasonably new. So I'm flicking through these channels, having a look, and said, well, what's the high definition ones? And indeed, it finishes. It says the channel name and HD at the end. Because some of the channels, not many, I will say, I suppose there's about 10 channels, 10, 15 maybe, are simulcast in high definition. So if you were watching BBC One, then BBC One standard, normal, okay, what most people listening and watching a show will watch here in the UK, BBC One standard and BBC One high definition or BBC high definition are playing the same programmes at the same time, except one is standard, one's high definition. The only thing is, as you flick up through the remote control, the channels are not together, so it's actually difficult to see what the improvement in the picture is. But there is one channel where on the Sky box is showing in standard and high definition, and the numbers on the remote control are next to each other. I can't remember what the channel name was. It was a channel that I'd never heard of, to be honest. Say it might have been channel 150 and channel 151. And that's not the numbers, but I'm just saying so that you understand the channel numbers were next to each other. So I was able to flick between these two channels and actually see the difference between high definition and standard definition. Now, there's no doubt about it. The high definition, the lines are sharper. Okay? So, I mean, those of you watching this on YouTube, I have to be honest with you, the picture isn't that sharp. It's like computer. I mean, it's fine to watch, you know, but this is not a high definition picture. It's probably not even a standard. It's probably just below standard, I would guess. All right, that's just how this thing works. The high definition picture, definitely better. Nice sharp lines around the edge. I suppose slightly brighter colours. But is it that much of a difference to warrant upgrading your set, or indeed paying that extra £10 a month, which may not sound much to you, but is in fact £120 a year? Now that made you think, didn't it? Is it worth the extra money of upgrading your TV set, spending out for a Sky high definition box, and also paying the extra £10 subscription a year? I have to say, no. It really isn't worth it. I really do believe that. And I wonder, is there anyone else listening or watching the show at the moment who went out and went the high definition route and is probably pleased with what they've got, but at some point has thought to themselves, was this really worth it? I'd like to know how you feel about that. Is it just me here? But I looked at that. I think we've all been... Well, I haven't. But I think a lot of people have been conned here. I don't know what you expected. If you've got a good picture on your television now, how do you think that was going to improve? It's improved, yes, a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't think it's worth the money. I honestly don't. And I told her on that. I said, I don't think... He said, well, we watch a lot of telly. You only notice the difference, okay, when you flick between these two channels, in all honesty. the ones that are next to each other, the slightly sharper picture. I've heard technical people on various different radio stations tell us all how marvellous the picture is. How much better it is. It's so sharp and so clear. Yes, it is sharper, it is clearer, but I honestly don't think it's worth the money. Do you have high definition at home? Properly set up? Not just high definition ready, do you actually have high definition television? And if so, I'd like you to tell me what you think. Was it worth the extra money? Or do you think, nah, maybe not. I've got it now, so it's all right, but would you buy it again? That's the thing. Do let us know on the email. It's Chris, and the postal address is coming up now as well, okay? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, there's a postal address as well if you'd like to write in. If you would like a couple of the shows on DVD, if you've never seen the show in pictures before, then please write in and let me know. Include your address. You don't need any money or anything like that, okay? And here comes the postal address. It's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, Bracknell, RG 429ED, United Kingdom. Once again, that postal address, Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, Bracknell, RG 429ED, United Kingdom. Okay, and as I say, just include your address there if you'd like me to pop a little DVD in the post of a couple of the shows for you. All right, also via email, tell us all about your, via email or post, tell us all about your high definition setup. Was it worth the money you spent? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Here come the emails then. First of all, hello to Wayne, who's in Reading, which isn't too far away from here, actually. Hi, Chris. Hope this finds you well. Thank you for the mention on the 17th show. That's the 17th of February show. And yes, you're right. I should take part more often because I haven't missed a show now for nearly 2 years. Sorry, I fell asleep. Pardon? This show does not make you fall asleep, if you don't mind. So here's go. I'm responding to the show dated the 17th of February. He says, number one, because I asked what sort of singing camp you felt. Well, you know I sing songs sometimes on the show. Not very often. Now and again, we do a little song together, don't we, eh? And I wondered where you thought I might sit into the whole scheme of singing people. He says, I'm very surprised you need to ask which singing camp you fall into. Of course, it's the good camp. After all, you're a karaoke host. And I think Lisa's clearly right. Born Free, which is a song I sang a few while ago, was good. Born free as the wind blows. Oh, beautiful song. Wayne says, it's just I must live too close to your studio, 15 miles, so what I'm thinking is, if you could give me a warning of you singing, then I'll move to where Lisa lives, enjoy your singing, and then move back again. Yes, Chris, I would do that for you. Hang on a minute. Are you saying that you would move away from the studio and when I finish, move back again? What are you saying? Beg pardon? It's not that bad, is it? Number two, you mention your internet is slow. Well, it would be because of the amount of computers you've got. Someone once told me you have more computers than Dell. Yes, it's true. My new computer's the Dell. Marvellous, no problems with it, really. Oh, yes, I have. I've come across an interesting thing, right? When I use the email system, okay? When I use the email, and I bring up an email and I click print, it prints the email and then takes me to the web browser. Why is it doing that? Anyone know that? Technical people, okay, running Vista, 64-bit on this computer. Why is it when I get an email, let's just try it now. I'm going to do it now. Right, let's print, we'll print that, right? Print, okay. Then it asks me what printer I want to print on. I click print. And it takes me to a browser page. Whichever one I seem to have open at the time. How strange is that? Anyone know why that's happening? It's running Vista. Oh, don't start saying, oh, not Vista. I've got now 3 computers running Vista. No problem with any of them. I don't know why people have so many problems running. It's only because they don't know how to operate the new operating systems. That's all it is. Works fine. Sound cards, everything plugged in. All works fine. I suppose I'm lucky, am I? No, I bet it's you lot. Some of you, I know, are dreadful at fiddling with your computers and trying beta programs and all that. Don't do it. Once it's up and running, leave it alone. If you're trying to tweak it a little bit faster, it doesn't work. Leave it alone. Stop opening the box. Carl in Yorkshire is one of those, aren't you, Carl? Always fiddling around with a screwdriver in the back of your computer. Leave it alone, dear. Wayne says you have more computers than Dell, so maybe you need to spend some money. He says, sorry to swear at you, and upgrade your internet. Maybe taking over the whole phone exchange might do. Well, it might do, actually. When you say upgrade the internet, actually, you know, Virgin Media are now doing, in some areas, 50 meg. 50 meg, dear! 50 meg! Whoosh! Oh, that'll be fast. Not only is that 50 meg on the download, but I believe also this time they've upgraded the upload speed, which is important to me. If I can explain to Joy, what is the upload and download speed? Okay, when I make a show here, Joy, I have to send it to someone, okay? So for send, here, upload. I have to upload it to a few different places. Now, the speed of the upload lets me do it in, say, a few minutes or a few hours. So the faster the upload speed, the faster I can get it from my studio to wherever it's got to go to. So obviously the faster it is, the better. Now, Virgin Media are doing a faster upload speed. I don't know if it's available in this area, but it was very expensive. It was £51 a month if you just have the broadband with them. Now, the thing is, if you have telephone and broadband with them, I think the price comes down to £41, which is still expensive, but you get the telephone as well. Now, at the moment, I pay £37 for my 20 meg broadband connection. All right. So, Joy, 20 is slower than 50, yeah? You understand what I'm saying here? I pay £37 for my 20 meg broadband phone and £16.50 per month for my British Telecom phone line. Well, that's 37, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. That's about 53, 54 pounds per month for the telephone and the broadband. Now, if I go to Virgin for both, it will cost me 41. So probably that's what I'm going to do. I have to wait until my British Telecom, what's it called, when you sign up for a period of time, contract. I have to wait till my British Telecom contract is up, which is in April, and then I will cancel that and go with Virgin, and then I can get the two for £41, which I think is brilliant. It's much better. BT can't match that in speed. They can't. They are unable to get to the 50 meg thing. This is the thing. Well, certainly in this area, I think because they come down the phone lines, don't they? They can't get that fast, unfortunately. So that's what I'm going to do there, Wayne. Funny you should mention that, isn't it? Number 3, regarding Twitter, this is like the latest message thing on the computer, which I personally think is a very poor version of Facebook. Wayne didn't join that because that's how he felt too. I went on Twitter because I won't lie to you. I went a bit like a sheep. Everyone else was going on it, and you've got to do these things, you see. But I actually don't think it will last as long as... I think Facebook will be around for quite some time. So I'm on the Facebook, Chris Reardon London. I'm on the Twitter, Chris Reardon UK. But a couple of people have wrote to me explaining how good it is and what you can do with it and this, that and the other. I'm sorry, I'm not convinced at all. I think Twitter's a bit of a waste of time. I think it's a fashion thing. I really think it's a fashion thing, and I think it will fade out. And I have a feeling Facebook will soon be there. I don't see how. I mean, you see, I hated Facebook when it came out because I didn't know how to use it. I won't lie to you. It's like I was saying before. It's like these people who can't use Vista. They can't suss it out. I know it's got some problems, but I've not had a problem with it. Facebook, I couldn't work that over. Once I got used to it, I thought, this is brilliant. And I don't actually see how you can improve on it, to be honest. How else could... I mean, apart from perhaps giving people more storage space. I mean, for example, I couldn't upload one of these shows to Facebook because there's not enough space. So possibly they could do something about that. How else would you improve it? And I really do believe the Twitter is a very, very poor version of Facebook. I'm only on there because other people have told me to go on there, and that's it. I am a sheep. Meh, meh, meh. Yes. Wayne also says, I would also like you to be the first to know that myself and another couple are going to start doing a weekly podcast. We already have the name www.wittering. Oh, hang on, Wittering on. Wittering on. Ah, I love it. Witteringon.com. I love that word. He was wittering on about something. Look, let me spell this. Actually, I haven't had a look. Let's have a quick look on here. Now that I've got my new computer, I can actually look at people's things without upsetting the recording. Let's have a quick look at this. What is it? www. I love it. Witteringon.com. I love it. Welcome to Wittering, the home of a great conversation. Coming soon, a weekly talk show. Okay, so it's not up yet. That's a really good website address, isn't it? Eh? I love it. I'll just make a note of that for the other show I do. Just a minute, I've got to write that down. Domain names. Let's talk about domain names. 1 minute. What am I doing here? Hang on. I've got the wrong one bit of paper here in front of me. What's the date? That's it. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, there it is. There it is. Blah, blah. Who is it? Oh, the noises have started. Witteringon.com. Blah, blah, blah. Well, Wayne, I hope you'll be carrying my programme on that podcast, will you? No, it's a podcast, so it's audio on it. We can mention podcasts on the show. We can't mention other radio stations because that's not fair on whoever's playing this out. But certainly, if you've got a podcast that perhaps you want mentioned at some point, then please... I'll be pleased to do that. Just write down what your podcast is and what it's all about. It can be music, can be chat, whatever. Anything you want, okay? That's what we're here to do. We are here to connect. www.witteringon.com is the domain name he's registered. And he says, I'll let you know when the first podcast is up. But for now, I'm moving my studio to West London, where my other half lives, and getting intro music sorted. Any advice would be grateful. All right, well, intro music... yeah, I always think you need something very powerful. Although it can work to be a little bit wishy-washy. Example, let me think of an example. Okay, let's take, I know you're not a television programme, but nevertheless, let's take Star Trek. Let's take Star Trek. Now, the very first Star Trek, quite a powerful number. Da, 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 da. And the second lot, The Next Generation, was good. Da, 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 da. That one, weren't it? Like that. Now, when we got to Voyager, it was all a bit wishy-washy. Da, da, da. Oh, I've got it on here. Hang on a minute. Where's the Voyager music? We like Voyager. I really like Voyager. Do you watch that? Star Trek? If I can find it. Oh, it is. Now, this to me, the Voyager music was a little bit wishy-washy in comparison to Star Trek original series and indeed The Next Generation, wasn't it? Here we go, listen. And at first, I really hated that music, but it does work. For me, it does work now. So a nice piece of music. So although my personal preference is to have something bold and brash, like the one I've got. Now, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people ask me, where is my tune? Where did I get my tune from? I don't know. It was, I must have got it from somewhere at some point. All I know is it is probably about 20 to 25 years old. Because believe it or not, that's when I got it. 20 to 25 years old. And I kind of remember having it in bits and pieces and having to put it all together because there'd always be someone talking at some point during it. So you had to keep recording it and then join the bits that didn't have speaking on it. And eventually, and you know what? This is before computers. It was definitely before computers. So I would be sitting there with a cassette recorder, you know, pushing the pause and everything like that and trying to put it together. So I personally would go for something quite big and brash. Now, the thing is, at the beginning of your show, I wouldn't have it too long. Just a little bit of music at the beginning, and if you want, at the end of the show, as you know, this is how I do mine, then just have it playing at the end, and you could have about a minute's worth at the end or something like that. All right? Wayne also says, the next point I'm really worried about, at about 46 minutes or thereabouts, you talked about chip fryers and said, yes, when I was alive, I had one. This is true. I remember actually hearing that on the playback. I said at some point in the show, yes, that was when I was alive. So Wayne wants to know, so are you not alive now, then, or are you really a puppet or cardboard cutout? I am a puppet and I am operated by someone's hand, Wayne. I really am. Very well spotted, that one there. And lastly, before I finish this email, anyone who emails in regular seems to have something after their name, like Suko in New York or Joe from AmericanTalkUSA.com. But I'm a bit worried what you'd call me, as you've already got two Waynes that write in. Incidentally, you've spelt right there, R-I-G-H-T. And for those of you who listen or watch the show trying to learn English, and there's plenty of you, I know about you. There are actually people who listen to the show to try and pick up some English, so welcome along to you. I'm just correcting this for them, Wayne. Please, I'm not pointing at nitpicking your writings, dear. I'm not. But it's spelt right, R-I-G-H-T. It's an incorrect term for the spelling. In this case, it should, of course, be W-R-I-T-E, as in write. Write with a pen is spelt W-R-I-T-E, as in if you're writing, okay? Or writing, W-R-I... Just a minute. Writing, that's it. Writing, W-R-I-T-I-N-G. So write with a pen, if you're doing some writing, is W-R-I-T-E. If you were right, as in opposite of wrong, that would be spelt R-I-G-H-T. Have you learnt that, children? Good. Thank you, students. We will move on. Yeah, he's a bit worried what I'm calling, as I already have Wayne, although I do like to be known as Wayne, but I'll leave that to you. Talk soon and keep up the good work. Lots of love from Wayne. Now, what shall we call Wayne? Wayne Wittering on. That's it, Wayne Wittering on. I'll try and remember that, Wayne. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad you're doing your own podcast because you're interested in that, aren't you? Hi to our cat lover, it's Susan. Hello, Susan. How are you, my darling? She speaks here about the asthma attack I had a couple of weeks ago, and no problem since. You may also have noticed I don't seem to be coughing much anymore. And you know that other thing I used to do? I'm going to do it now just to show you what it is, but you wouldn't normally have heard it. I used to do this a lot. And it's hardly happening at all now since, I don't know, since about 6 or 7 weeks. So obviously something's changed. Susan writes, sorry to hear about you getting ill like that. I think I know what happened to you. I used to have asthma from allergies so bad that I could barely walk and had to go to the emergency room many times. That's awful. If you didn't see the show a few weeks ago, what happened one Saturday night, I had a bit of an asthma problem, and the thing, you know, the what is that called now? Puffer. The puffer thing didn't seem to be working, so I actually ended up calling the NHS, who put me through to ambulance, and they sent a man round. They sent a man round to look at me, nebulizer on the mouth. 10 minutes later, all gone. I think a lot of it was a panic attack, though. Susan says, the asthma inhaler you used most likely contains I can't say that, epinephrine or a similar drug, which is a medicine that helps to ease you breathing. You mentioned that you went and took an extra puff on your inhaler. One of the side effects of too much of this drug is nervousness and rapid heartbeat. This is why they only recommend using it a certain amount of times. Yes, I think it is 3 times, isn't it? Then to make things worse, you went and made a cup of tea which contains caffeine. I think the combination brought on this nervous attack you had. I did the same thing when I used an inhaler. Now, I thought this as well with that puffer thing. Yet when the ambulance man came round, he said I could take as much as that of that stuff whenever I wanted, which is a bit contradictory to what I've heard before. So I'm not actually sure about that. Oh yes, when I had the asthma review, again that was a couple of weeks ago, and no problem there really. The nurse there told me I could just puff whenever I wanted, which is strange really. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that. I'll have to ask the doctor next time. Susan says, Chris, I never said to take tablets and never let the doctor give you steroid tablets for your asthma. No, I really don't want that. These tablets are bad news, even though they are widely used as a treatment for your condition. Yes, I always get a bit nervous when I hear the word steroids, don't you? I mean, these stupid people, and they inject them into... Oh, the thought of seeing needles, they inject them into themselves to make their muscles come up and all that business. Well, as you as you can see from my arms, there aren't any muscles, so no danger of me doing all this stuff. But it scares me to death, all this steroid problems. Doesn't it bring on heart problems as well, steroids? Unfortunately, I have to say, a lot of the boys I bump into in some of the clubs I've worked in over the years, a lot of them are doing these steroids, and it certainly makes them more... not violent, more aggressive behaviour. It's just, you know, why do people do this? It's not good, is it? Just for looks and vanity. I really wish you could call an allergist and just discuss the sensitivity allergy shots with them. You can get an injection under the skin, but it only contains a tiny amount of liquid, and it's just a pinprick under the skin. No. You won't listen, will you, Susan? I'm not having any more I'm not having injections unless absolutely necessary. I have the flu jab once a year, that's it. You can't even feel the injection. I know I'm nagging you, but as you get older, your asthma will probably become much worse. Respiratory infections and even pneumonia will become frequent problems. I know, I had them. After just 2 weeks of the allergy serum, Katie could sleep with you and you would be asthma-free. You would kick yourself for being so silly about using the allergy serum. Remember, I used to be so bad I could hardly walk. Well, Susan, since opening all the windows and hoovering the house every day, that it's hardly been a problem now. So I don't like the thought of having needles in your arms. I'll be honest, I don't even like taking those, what are they called, vaccinations and things like that. Never really liked those. You think, oh, what am I doing here? But I don't know. I was allergic to all kinds of grass, Susan says. Several common varieties of trees, plus cats, dogs. Now I mow 3 acres of grass every week in the summer, symptom-free. Oh, I love the summer, don't you? I've got no problem with flowers and plants or grass. She says, I need to send a pair of cowboy boots to your sister so that she could give you a good kick in the tail end. If I lived over there, I would drag you to the allergy office. You would never regret going. Please, Chris, get off the medicine and use the cure. This is why people in earlier generations would eat honey for allergies. Yeah, I heard that. Is it, what's that called now? Manuka honey, isn't it? Honey contained the pollen of local plants and thus desensitise their allergies when eaten on a regular basis. Now get your tail down to an allergist and get rid of the asthma for good. So thank you, Susan. Look, next... I don't know. Next time, I tell you what, next time I go to see a doctor for whatever reason, I will ask about it, all right? If I remember. Thanks, Susan. Email address, please join in, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We have a new person joining us. Hello to Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey. Now, where are you? In New Jersey, USA, formerly known as Jersey Jeff. Yes, Jersey Jeff. Yeah, I'm sure you've written before, haven't you, Jeff? Seem to recognise that. It says formerly Jersey Jeff. Are you changing your name to confuse me? Hello, Chris. I've been planning to write to you for some time now. I know Suko will absolve you of your mistakes, but will she do the same for the rest of us? That's the question. Suko's confessional booth is always open for your sins, boys and girls. Where I may be completely heartless and unable to forgive, I think you will find Suko has indeed understands the teaching of the Sacred Heart and can, in fact, absolve you from sins. But be prepared. You never know the penance that Suko may give you. Suko in New York, this is. I know Suko will absolve you of mistakes, but will she do the same for the rest of us? If so, forgive me, Suko, for I have sinned. Last January, I wrote into Chris after a long absence. My father's been ill, in and out of hospital. I said for my New Year's resolution, 2008. Okay? That's January. It's a whole year and 2 months ago. January 2008. His New Year resolution was I would write more often. Yes, I remember you now. Now it's all coming back to me now. Well, I didn't, and I'm sorry, Chris. I do, however, listen to every show. I have been with you since approximately the 3rd or 4th show, right from the beginning, back in October 2005. I did write to you then when you were discussing the proper way to make English chips. Oh, we like chips. I would promise to write more often, but I won't. When I hit, that's fine, you say? You see, I don't mind a bit of honesty. You know, if you was to go into, I don't know, a car dealer, and you bought the car and the dealer said, by the way, one of the wheels will probably drop off after a week, then it happened, you wouldn't mind so much, would you? But if he stood there saying this car will operate perfectly for the next 25 years and it doesn't, then you'd be upset. So here, all I ask from my dear, dear friends and loyal listeners and viewers is that you don't lie to me. Please, don't lie. I mean, you know, I can't lie to you. I'm not a liar. When you go off and listen to other shows like matineeshow.co.uk or rospatzelt.co.uk or even American Talk USA. When you go up and listen to those, I just feel a little knife has gone into my heart. I do. I feel a little knife has been pushed into my back. But it's better that you tell me about it. And young Fizzer Sap, when you go and watch his show, instead of mine, it does kind of hurt a little bit. But, it's better that you tell me about it rather than lie. Because it's even more painful and hurtful if you say, oh, Chris, I only watched your show and I watched nothing else or listened to nothing else. It's hurtful when I find out that you have actually been watching or listening to these other things. So please don't lie to me. That's all I ask. Don't lie. So you haven't lied, dear. You've told me that you probably won't write again. I can live with that. Jersey Jeff, I can live with that. When I hear your show, it's usually a day or two after it's posted on iTunes. So if I have something to reply to, it's too late. No, it's not too late, mate. It's never too late. If someone wants to reply to something that was done on the very first show in October 2005, that's fine. That's the beauty of podcasts. We can keep going back. And it's not like no one knows what we're talking about, because I always give, like I say, on the show last week, we were discussing how to make a cup of tea, and Jersey Jeff says, so people know, that's fine. You can bring up any subject that we've ever talked about, or indeed any of your own. No problem at all. He says, it's often too late, and there is a new subject being talked about. Doesn't matter. You bring up old subjects, it's fine. Besides, I'm not nearly as interesting as the infamous Suko or Anonymous. Yes, not yet, Jersey. But the more emails you write, the more popular you become, my love. Yes, it's true. One thing I would like to hear on is an update on our Joy. Maybe you can get her on the phone. Okay, I'm saying this is right at the beginning of the show. Once in a while. Yes, we'll get Joy on the phone again soon. And I'd also like to bring in a few more voices, actually. There's a lady called Gwen, who I spoke about quite a long time ago. And she comes around to my karaoke nights at Belushi's in Hammersmith every Monday from 8 o'clock, and she's got some marvellous stories. Again, she's an older lady. I think she's 70, and she too has got some marvellous stories to tell, just like Joy has. All right, so we will get her on the phone as well. I'd like to try and do a few more people on the phone, so to speak. Do a few more on the phone. That sounds good, doesn't it? How about sending her one of your old computers, then she could hear you on the internet and write in? I would do that, but she's not got internet connection, unfortunately. And she hasn't really got the money to pay for such a thing, so that wouldn't be possible. But she does, in fact, now get the show on a DVD every week. I kind of keep that going for her. To change the subject, when I listen to your show, I find myself answering you as if you were talking directly to me. Is that normal? Yes. This show to me has always been like a one-to-one thing. As far as I'm concerned, I'm talking to one person. That's you. Now, when I say you, I don't necessarily mean you, Jeff. I mean whoever I'm talking to at the time. Whoever's looking at me at the moment, I'm talking to you. Okay, not a whole group of thousands of people, or I mean, probably not thousands, but whatever people, and that's how you do these shows. You're actually talking to that person. Okay, so yes, if you think I'm talking directly to you, then I guess I'm doing this right, or at least doing it right, as in my mind, because I don't think there's any right way or wrong way to do some of these things. We all do it our own way. Some people will like some. There will be people who have watched the show and hate it, and indeed they've written into me before. You get some now and again. You get a really nasty email, and it doesn't matter. Now that I'm at the age I'm at, that's fine, because I just screw it up and I use it in the toilet paper. Right? When it comes to someone younger, I think it's very, very unfair for people to send young people. For example, Fizzer Sap, who I've told you about, does the YouTube thing. Fizzer Sap, he's had a couple of nasty emails about his work, and I told him, you just don't worry about those things. You certainly don't mention them. Don't even mention them. Don't give them the time of day. You screw it up, you put it in the bin, you delete it, and that's the end of it. Really. I don't mind constructive criticism at all. What I don't like is downright nastiness, and there's plenty of those people out there who hide behind their computer screens, tapping away. You find a lot of them on forums, I've mentioned this before, being vile to people, but you never actually see them out. They hide behind their computers, and it's just nasty. So yes, if you think I'm talking to you, or not think, if you know I'm talking to you, and that yeah, I am. I'm talking directly to you, okay? Especially when I'm at work, he says, or lying in bed. My wife knows, but she does give me a look once in a while. Oh, she doesn't think you fancy me, does she? Put her right on that. No, it doesn't fancy. What's her name? If you tell me her name, I'll quite happily tell her. I've tried to get some of the people I know to listen to the show, and a few have. I like to tell them it's done by a friend of mine. I hope that's okay. Of course you are a friend. If you write to me, look, you don't write to people you don't know unless it's a complaint, do you? Let's face it. Huh? Yes. When you do have your garden party, please let me know, and I'll try and get my dad to take me over to visit relatives. He hasn't been home since he came here in 1943. Wow. I'll come to your party. I'll even keep my hands in my trouser pockets so as not to pick up any souvenirs. No thieving here, please. Love it. Well, I just wanted you to know I still listen and enjoy your shows, and to explain why I don't write. Please send my regards to Joy. All right, Joy, that's Jeffrey in New Jersey, USA, wants to say hello. Hope she's well. She reminds me of my auntie in Warrington. Oh, he lost his dear auntie here in the States. I love listening to Joy. So thanks very much to that, Jeff. I've run out of time. I'm going to have to go. There was a bit more to that email. I'll try and pick up there on the next show, okay? Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for watching and listening.